everybody. My name is Allan, and as you can see, there's a festive occasion here because on behalf of the crew, I'd like to welcome you to the 100th show of Bridging Heaven and Earth. And for us, it's just an extraordinary experience to have persevered through all the trials and tribulations of doing live shows, and to experience all the joy and love that has come with that, and all the inspiration, all the people. We're on in about 35 cities now, we're on the internet, and we just get so much support and inspiration and love from people all over the world now, and it just really inspires us to go on and do this. And in the studio here we have 25 or 30 people who do this on a volunteer basis to bring Bridging Heaven and Earth to you every 23, 25 shows a year. We've started in 1995. And so when the credits roll at the end of the show, look at those names, because these people dedicate themselves in a tremendous way and put in so much time and energy to make this show what it is, to bring the guests from all over the world, and to bring all that concentration and that inspiration and that consciousness to all of us. And I'm on the set, and you can see me, and the guests you can see, but you don't know how many people are behind the scenes that really make this show what it is, and really make it possible to do it with joy and love, because that's really what the show is about. And so tonight, as a special 100th show anniversary, we're going to have an interview. We've never done it before, and everybody said, why don't we do that? We're going to have an interview. One of the crew members, one of the producers of the show, Shelley Flanders, is going to do an interview with me. And we also have an extraordinary local singer-songwriter, Cory, who has 3 CDs out, Bedroom Tapes, Orbiter, and Swimology, and she's working on a new one. She's an extraordinary singer, with just plays beautifully and has a wonderful voice, and we're just honored to have her here with us. And so remember, I mean, this show, as we say every week, is about the oneness that we can all experience, that really draws us all together, that is really the current that runs through this show and all our lives when we really experience what it is. And it can really bring us together in an experience of true joy and true love. So again, join with us in this show, which is about that oneness, which is about that true joy and that true love. And just settle in, join me in a short meditation, then we're going to have Cory singing. So please join me. Thank you. So settle in. There's going to really be a beautiful show. The first song by Cory is Mermaid, and it's on her upcoming album. It's written and performed by Cory, Mermaid.
Now I feel a place in the natural world, but I don't have a car, I don't have a lover. It's tough to find space in the natural world when all I want's a safe hideaway for cover. Once I was a mermaid in the deep and tranquil sea. Now I have a name, it's kinda like a number. Sometimes it's baby, other times it's hey. I work to stand straight in the natural world. I work to be noticed, work to be invisible. Once I was a mermaid in the deep and tranquil sea. sail away. Oh, I can't get used to this. I can't get used to this. Oh, I can't get used to this. I can't get used to this. Oh. And now I fight for space in the natural world. Walking on 8th, headed out of downtown. Oh, I need a car, I need a big car. Take me to the ocean, leave my clothes, and I would sail away. I would sail away. Oh, no, no. Now I need a jet plane, now I need my brothers. Now I need a potion, now I need a lover. Now I need a car, I need a big car, so I can sail away. Now I need a jet plane, now I need my brothers. Now I need a potion, now I need a lover. Now I need a car, I need a big car, so I can sail away. Once I was a mermaid in the deep and tranquil sea.
Well, welcome. We're on the set with Shelley, so she's going to do the interview to me tonight. So, Shelley Flanders doing the interview. Go, Shelley.
Okay. We all would like to know a little bit more about you, Allan. We don't know. We see you every week. We've seen you for 100 shows. And we don't know really anything about you, other than that
Beautiful.
you meditate. You might have a sense of humor, although it's not really as clear as it could be, because you always allow other people to shine when this is your night to shine. So,
The show's over. It was the longest question ever in the history of the world.
Let's start at the beginning. Okay, there's a rumor. There's a rumor. There's a rumor. Is there a question? That's the rumor. Yeah.
That there will be a question.
Right. And the rumor is that actually you were born with your sunglasses on.
Correct. And I have pictures of it, and my mother's very proud of herself.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So
and actually,
now we know.
my mother
wears sunglasses.
conceived and gave birth with sunglasses on.
On the beach, right?
No, in the hospital. She wasn't that advanced, but she did have sunglasses on.
Okay, so now we've cleared up the issue of the sunglasses. We know why they're
And I don't have eyes. That's another thing.
You don't have eyes. Okay, so that's cleared up. Now, tell us about your past. Let's
How far back?
I want to go to just after you were born with your sunglasses. When you were riding your tricycle down the sidewalk and your father was standing beside you, what were you thinking?
I hope you don't let go, because I think that picture that you're talking about, I wasn't a very proficient driver at that point. Although I was 32 at the time, I was a little late getting started.
So, did you have a happy childhood?
I would say reasonably.
Reasonably.
Yeah, reasonably.
Were you allowed to be a child? Because I know that we know something about you, and we know that you were a child prodigy. So were you allowed to actually have a childhood?
Well, since I started college at 3, it was no.
No, it's true. You started college when you were about 14, weren't you?
16.
16. So you have a genius status,
Yes, I
as
do.
far as your IQ is concerned. So I'm just wondering if they, you know, if your parents, you know, made any special privileges with you and allowed you to be, you know, a child, or if they kind of encouraged you to use, you know, to push yourself into maturity.
Well, actually, my bedroom was in a library, so I didn't really, they wouldn't let me out. So other than that, it was, no, I had a regular childhood. I played ball and collected cards and, you know, went to school. And
Okay, so, and you had, what was your favorite game that you played as a child? Did you play Monopoly?
No, I don't think I really like board games as much as I like playing sports.
Okay, so you were a sports person. Okay, so you had a brother, David, and you were close, and you are close.
Yes.
You're very close.
Yes.
Okay, right. So we'll move on. You went to college. You became.
We're going to do it day by day. Again,
yeah.
This is your life, day by
right,
day.
day by day.
This is going to be the longest show in the history. So.
You went to college. You studied law. You went to the Wharton School of Business. Then you went to Philadelphia. No. You went to the law school in Philadelphia.
The law school in Washington, George Washington National Law Center.
Okay, and you became a lawyer.
Correct.
And a corporate lawyer.
Correct.
And you were a lawyer for a number of years.
Correct.
How many? 15.
407.
Okay. And then...
I've gone many lifetimes being a lawyer.
Actually,
that's why I stopped. There was
your real
enough.
name is Methuselah.
Right. There's just so many years you could practice law. There's enough. 400, I started winding down.
Okay, so then after 400 years of law, you built a house in an organic farm.
Right.
And you became an organic farmer for a number of years. And
I
then,
was doing that, yeah.
Yes, and then you...
It's actually become it. It's like,
all right,
it wasn't right.
So tell us...
I was doing other things at the time.
Tell us what was the motivational factor in bringing you into the light, because I know personally that you're truly self-realized. So what was the moment in time that you bridged heaven and earth? What was the deciding factor? Was there an actual incident that occurred, or was it a progressive series of events that actually allowed you to become self-realized? And when did that happen?
And you want to know this lifetime?
Yes.
This lifetime.
This lifetime.
I would say at some point I realized that there was one energy that people call God. I was it, and everybody else was it. And then it was just a matter of lining up with that more every moment. So it was a progression from that one moment. And
meditation helps. You find meditation a very helpful tool, I think.
Well, there are a lot of spiritual tools. I mean,
For
for me, it was helpful. You know, it's hard to say because, you know, we're always cutting a piece of infinity out and saying this means something and forgetting that there's the other side of the infinity on both sides. So every statement you make has 3 dots before it and 3 dots after it. So, you know, it's hard to say, but I mean, meditation has been part of my spiritual path. Whether it would have to be everybody's, I wouldn't know. I would say it doesn't because, you know, we live in a mysterious, extraordinary experiment, extraordinary universe that is vast and beyond what we conceive of as reason. So one of the things that people have problems in the spiritual path, it seems to me, is that they try to get an idea and live the idea, but the experience of love and bliss and realization is beyond that. So the question is, how do you get beyond that? I mean, that's like the razor's edge of the spiritual path. I mean, how do you have a practice and then go beyond the practice? Because, you know, at some point you want to cross the ocean. You want to cross the ocean of duality and separation into the land of oneness. In the Narnia books that I've and, you know, how do you do that? But at some point we all use these different tools and different, metaphorically, the boats. But at some point you reach there and you want to send the boat back so somebody else can use it. But a lot of times people in the spiritual path get attached to the boat. So I'm a Buddhist, I'm a this is my guru. And it never allows them to get to the land of freedom, the land of love. Because the conceptualization
is a form of separation.
Is a form of separation because I am an organic farmer. You know, I am this. You know, so it's, and that's the reason on the website. You know, all the guests have their their history. Now, obviously, I have a history too, which you went over and bored everybody all over the world with. But the truth is that what it says on there is Allan is, and that's, we all are that infinite. We all are that three dots. We all are that, motion into love, into joy. When a human being experiences the infinite, that's what it feels like. It feels like love and it feels like joy. And that's what Bridging Heaven and Earth show is about. And that's why, like sometimes we'll talk about it, and as long as the show is joyful and loving to do and everybody wants to do it in that context, then it's beautiful to do and the momentum will build. If it starts being like, well, we do Bridging Heaven and Earth. I do, I'm an organic farmer. I am the host, the producer of Bridging Heaven and Earth. And then it loses it. So in every moment you want to be reborn. You want to be born again. You want to be like free in every moment. And that's, you have to bring all your concepts into one moment. You can't be anything. You can't be a Buddhist. You can't have this. You can't identify yourself with anything except the experience of love, the experience of the infinite, or what people call God.
Well, every moment is a birth.
Well, it is.
Because the moment
well,
is born.
it's born, it's birth and death, and, what's the razor's edge in between birth and death, good and bad, right and wrong, and that basically is a spiritual path. And that's what people want to be on, but, the question for human beings is how do you do that? And how do you do that consistently? And how do you rub up against the infinite so much that you don't identify with anything other than that? Although you know what it says on your birth certificate, like right now we're sitting and doing an interview. So am I the host? Or am I the? It's like on this show it's weird because what. So, but we can always get caught up in the definition instead of being in the experience of love and then moving through this life. And one minute will be the host, 1 minute will be the interviewer, 1 minute will be the 100th show. And theoretically, if everything stays the same, 2 weeks from now we'll have the 101st show. Now, will that be any less joyful? Now, probably we won't have balloons again, stuff like that. But it will, for each of us, will it be any less joyful and any less conscious and any less loving? It obviously shouldn't be. We play this game here. It's 100 and it's far out, and everybody who puts so much time and energy into it. We say, well, people should be proud of all the love and dedication, and in essence, that's true. But we should be experiencing it breath to breath to breath, because once we stop and look back on it, then we're denying ourselves the beauty and the love of the moment. Shelley.
So, what to you is the biggest mistake people make? What causes the most misery, do you think?
Well, there's only one dilemma on earth, is people don't recognize the oneness. They don't experience that they're one with everything. So in separation, everything bad happens because we know, something in us knows that that's not the case. So in order to return home, to return to love, we do all the things that we do, and we're looking for love in all the wrong places. We're looking, and it's not an easy thing, because obviously the way I would look at it, maybe until this time, and maybe this new millennium, the time is changing, and it looks like it is, and the energy is changing in that way. But throughout history, 4 or 5 people had it pretty good. A Jesus, a Krishna, a Buddha, Muhammad, and they're like revered. But it's not that easy an experiment here if all of us are trying so hard, and still experiencing the duality so much. But that's the real problem. There's never another problem. It's just, why aren't we experiencing the infinite?
And why do we feel separation? Is it fear?
Well, I would say, since it looks like it's a difficult thing for people here, and it doesn't get done that easy, then something about this Earth experiment, this Earth life, has resulted, for whatever reason, we've heard over the 100 shows thousands of theories about it. I don't really have one, but because in the moment it seems that what it is that whatever happens here, we come in as part of the play and forget the infinite, and then the process is, and the spiritual path is to come home again, to remember of what we are, that we are one with everything. There's only one energy, and we are that. We are that, and that, that's the remembrance. We are that.
And that's the goal for Bridging Heaven and Earth, for all these 100 shows, is to remind people, is to allow them to rub up against the infinite.
I would say it's, people ask me about that. I would say, obviously, we've had extraordinary guests and the messages have been beautiful, but really it's to send out from this set here, and over the television waves and over the internet, a vibration of love. That's all. You know, and that love will like light a flame in people. And when that flame is lit, there are God knows there are enough paths that people can follow. And to me, the path isn't important. It's just the fire is important. And when the fire gets to a certain level, it'll find this path and find this next path and next path and next path. So that's, and people want to go home. They want to reach the land of freedom. They want to reach the land of love. They don't really want to be a Buddhist. They don't really want to be married. They don't really want to be rich, although those things, and all the things, you know. They don't want to be a talk show host. They don't want to be #1 in the Nielsen's. They don't want to, you know, whatever people want. You know, if I can get this relationship thing right, or, you know. They don't really, I mean, that's fine. I mean, on Earth here, they just want to feel love. Just that, and know that they're loved. I mean, it's not, you know, I mean, it all comes, it's feeling and knowing and being. I mean, it's just everything is one, because each moment is infinite, 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 and you're moving through the infinite like a force of nature.
So our job here in Bridging is to remind people that they are loved, to always let them know.
Well, I mean, we use those
them.
words, but I mean, really, the way I would look at it, the more important thing is to be the vibration of love, and then there's no boundary to it, because vibrations just carry. So for each of us to be the vibration of love, and then come on and, you know, just basically talk about it, put balloons up about it, show flyers about it, have incredible songs about it. You know, sometimes we have music without songs. A couple of shows ago we had dancing, and, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter. What it matters is that people come on with that, either the hunger for the recognition, and, you know, and the humbleness to share it, and the desire and love to share it. And then when that happens, you know, it's beautiful, and that's what lights people's flame. I mean, a friend of mine is in from San Francisco, and he got the show in San Francisco, and he was telling me today, people come on and they don't know why they watch the show. You know, it's like, you know, the guests can't understand what they're talking about. The host wears glasses and is weird. You know, the singers, God knows what they're doing half the time. You know, the cameras are all over the joint, and they watch it week after week after week. And you know, he was saying to them, and they were agreeing with him, is that they were, you know, that there was a feeling about it, that they just felt good, that they just felt connected, that they felt love. And that's why they watch it. And that's really what we're sending out, is the vibration of love, as the way I would define it.
Martin Luther King said everyone has the power for greatness, not for fame, but greatness, because greatness is determined by service. What is your feeling about service in relationship to this experiment?
Well, again, I wouldn't break it down that way. You know, I mean, we want every action to be pure. We want every action to be in love. Let every action be in love. See, people define things as service, so then you get into right or wrong, good or bad. This is service, this isn't service. But if you're vibrating love, if you're vibrating consciousness, then every action you take. And I mean, there's an old story that you see two people helping a blind old person across the street. And from the outside, it looks the same. You know, they're you know, very conciliatory and helping the old, you know, the person who's disabled across the street. One is trying to get him across the street so they can steal from him, out of the way of, you know, everybody. And the other one really wants to help him. So what is it? So service can't be an action. It can only be a vibration. So do we want to be in that vibration? Yes. But, you know, I mean, do we want to, when we're quiet, I mean, are we doing service when we're sitting still? If we're vibrating that love, yes. If we're not, then not. You know, it's like the other story is, you know, is it better to be in a whorehouse thinking about God, or, you know, in the church thinking about the whorehouse? You know, it's one of those tough questions. I never could figure out the answer, but, you know, I mean, what is it?
Depends who you asked.
Yeah, right. It depends what you feel in that moment. But, you know, what whorehouse? It all are stupid answers. But, so really, I mean, the way I would do it is not to define things so much. Just experience it. Move in love. Move in consciousness. And then there'll be no doubt that you're, even though people won't see it, won't respond like, oh, that's not service. They'll define you out of service. They define Jesus out of service. So, I mean,
serving the light.
Yeah, but then it's like, then there's darkness and light. You know, it's like, at some point there's one. there's one love. And we are that love. We are all that same love, and that's it. And so once you have that experience, there's no, you can see duality, I mean, and you know what it says on your driver's license, and you know that if you're driving on the freeway and you go over the speed limits and you go 110 miles an hour, you're conscious that there are laws and there's different situations and consequences to those situations. And you're discerning, but they don't mean anything to you. So duality loses its meaning. So you're living in oneness, you're living in love, and that's when it's really beautiful here. Then it's really heaven on earth. And that's what the show is, that if in some way, just to use words, that bridging heaven and earth can be a bridge for people to have the experience of heaven and to experience it enough and enough and enough. And another thing about like the show and what this show allows is that we bring in so many spokes to the wheel. Do you know what I mean? So one time we could have a Buddhist, the next time we could have a singer, an artist or something, and it's really just about the vibration of love. It's not about the particular path.
And it's about one family. I mean, each spoke of the wheel is a child of ours, isn't it? I mean, are we not one family? Isn't that what this experiment is now? This awareness is the New Age awareness, the Age of Aquarius?
Well, I mean, if we experience ourselves as there's one energy, there's one love, then how can there be anything outside? I mean, it's a beautiful phrase, but I mean, we are all one. Not only are we all one family, we're all one love, we're all one, and that includes the dolphins, includes the whales, includes the trees. And if we experience that oneness, we wouldn't treat them like that. So I think actually now we'll take a break and hear Cory do her second set. The first song in the second set is called This Veil, and that's from her Orbiter CD. And then the second song she's going to do is Ice from her upcoming CD. Both these songs have been written and they will be performed by Cory, and then we'll be back for more. Okay? So, thank you.
Froze up when I left myself. You wanna talk about cold? Have you ever been so chill that your heart was stuck to your bones? Do you wanna know what I hate to fear? Drop your raincoat, start the engine, drive around the block for another year, and take this veil, 'cause I am through with this hiding out. You can think what you think about me. I know I got a lotus in my heart. The roots wrap around and connect deep down past the words I form, the things I've thought. And since we're all gathered round like so, I'm gonna try and let a bit of that deep down part of me show. Do you wanna know what I hate to fear? Drop your raincoat, start the engine, and sit around the house for another year. Take this veil, 'cause I am through with this hiding out. what you think about me. Oh, I've done it again. I lost all my power inside. One reaction. Life ready on to let things change, and they will change again. Take this veil, 'cause I am through with this. I am through with this. Oh, and you can think what you think about me. Oh, take this veil, 'cause I am through with this. I am through with this. Oh, you can think what you think about me. Tonight I tow my life behind me in a big black truck. Pickaxe and chains are handy, coming up over the Siskiyous. The dividing line is blurry, blurry, and I become the tracks in front of me. Don't worry, I won't ice myself. Oh, don't worry, I can fight myself. No, don't worry, I won't ice myself. Oh, my hands are steady to the wheel, my love. I do declare, up ahead a major transition. How will I fare? How will I fare? I'm on full for submission. Don't worry, I won't ice myself. me feel dizzy, warm and quite strange. Yes, I will call it over, collapse on the shoulder with the redwood, my witness. Sigh fade. Don't worry, I won't ice myself. Oh, don't worry, I can fight myself. No, don't worry, I won't ice myself. Oh, my hands are my hands steady to the wheel, my love. Steady to the wheel, my love.
Wow, thank you, Cory. That was fantastic. Thank you. I'm ready.
All right, I'd like to know what motivates you. What is it that motivates you, that makes you, I mean, for the last 5 years, devote really your whole life to this show? I know because I work with you for 2 years, and I know what it takes to make this show happen. It's not as easy as people would think. It takes a lot of pre-production. Booking guests is incredibly time-consuming. You spend out of your own pocket, people might not realize. You are lucky in life. You are self-sufficient financially, but you have devoted your life to this show, and you sacrifice a lot for this show, and you spend your own money making it happen. You spend a lot of time, a lot of energy. I mean, you really are one. You and Bridging Heaven and Earth, really, there is no separation. So what is it really that motivates you? I mean, what motivates you in life? I mean, is it Bridging Heaven and Earth? Is it something else? Is it your connection to the infinite? Is it your realization that you are one with God? What is it that motivates you the most?
Well, again, I wouldn't look at it that way. You know, I just wouldn't, I don't experience, you know, let me say the same thing.
We want to know how you look at it.
You know, things evolve breath at a time. So, you know, we were sitting around one day watching, you know, how did Bridging Heaven and Earth get started, you know, but you know, conceptually, I mean, you always do things one show, one step, one breath at a time, and we never know. I mean, we're talking about, we have guest booked for 104 shows now, four more shows for the season. Then the plan would be to do, you know, another season with another 13 shows. But if the studio burns down, or you know, who knows? I mean, no one knows what tomorrow brings. So really, I just do it one breath at a time. And we were sitting around one day, how, if you wanted to cut a piece of that infinite out and describe it, you know, we were sitting around a bunch of friends watching, you know, Jerry Springer, Sally Jesse Raphael, and saying that it's, you know, how pathetic it is, and how stupid and dark and unempowering and, you know, not uplifting and not inspiring. And so, you know, we're talking about, you know, there's no real talk show where that's the focus. The focus is love, the focus is joy. So, you know, one thing led to another, and then there were people involved from the very beginning. I mean, some of the people on this show who are working this show tonight have been basically on 100 shows, and there was Michael and Judy who started out. Michael directed all the first shows, and you know, just the steps were there. It was meant to be. I mean, it was just meant to be that we do 100 shows. So
your every step that you take is directed by the moment. You really, which I know, you don't really take another step until that's the one step in the moment is completed. You never think further than the moment.
Well, the way it is on Earth, you do have an intention. Like I can buy a plane ticket to go visit somebody, go visit my parents, or you know, to celebrate a birthday or an anniversary with somebody. But I know that ticket, is there going to be an Earth? I mean, is there going to be planes is there going to be me? I mean, I don't know my guarantee of when the physical form is no longer going to serve the spirit this time. Maybe some people do. I don't. So for me, it's like, how do I be here now? I mean, in my experience, all the spiritual paths basically are to bring you into the moment, to be here now, to meditate, to stop the world. So there is no identity except the moment, except you have consciousness that kind of like filters out, and you know you can recall your history, you know, back thousands of histories, and you can recall your history yesterday. But in actual living in life, you're always in every moment, because you know that whatever somebody define you as, or you at some points have defined yourself, is just a piece of infinity. And you're cutting out a piece and saying that's it, but it doesn't mean anything.
So living in the moment is merging actually every lifetime. It's merging everything. It's one with all things. And
well, and then there's no time and space.
There's no time and space. So you actually bridging heaven and earth is actually bringing the ultimate into the present moment, and being in the ultimate is what,
well,
in the physical form.
The ultimate is.
In the physical form. The ultimate is eternal. But when we're in the physical form, bridging heaven and earth would be bridging the ultimate into the physical form, so that we function physically in the ultimate.
Yeah, we live in joy and love. And as long as we have a physical body that moves, we move. And we do the next thing that is, I use the word appropriate or harmonious. We don't know what it's going to be. I mean, if all these balloons caught fire, I mean, would we sit here and continue the interview while we burn down? I mean, we're scheduled to, but I mean, you'd have to be, insane. But people do that. They get insane. They get on a path. It's like, the old story, you're going to see the master, and, you meet 1 million people on the way, and you treat them like crap, and you're not loving to them, but you're going to be loving when you get to the guru, the master. And of course the master is all these people and whatever. And we forget that, but if you're in every moment, you're meeting the master. You're the master talking to the master, talking to the master, talking to the master.
I am that I am that I am.
That too. That's another way to describe it. And we use all the ways to describe it, except the problem is we get caught up in the ways. We get caught up in the boat. We like this boat. And we don't realize that the boat just has a purpose. The purpose is to go to the land of love, the land of freedom. It's not the boat. Push the boat back. It's better to sink the boat at some point. Even if it means that...
Bhagwan said to kill your parents. I mean,
well, he didn't say to kill Bhagwan, but that also might have been people do that, But I mean, that's what Jesus meant when he said, "You're not my parents." I mean, he knew what body he came through, but the metaphorically is, you are my mother, you are my father, you are my sister, we are all that. And the same goes for the trees and the dolphins and the whales.
I am you and you are me and we are all together. John Lennon. He really said it.
Right. There's no beginning to you and no end to me. That's another song.
Is that John Lennon?
No, that's somebody else.
So, is there any one person that you could say in your life had the most influence on you?
Well, I mean, at different times, I would say that different people had different impacts. But I would say it's all, the process of my life and the process of the spiritual path is to take you from duality into one, and to just do that more and more and more. In
India, they have a saying, every man you meet is your guru. And if you're on the spiritual path, every man you meet.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you invite every man or woman to live in your house. There's a certain level of discernment here, because people are on different levels of consciousness and different levels of recognition of that. Although you know that they're light and love, if they don't, then they could be harmful to themselves and to your physical form. And if you choose for them not to injure your physical form, then you don't, make it available that way. You're conscious. There's a consciousness about the spiritual path. It's not, and it's like that would be another spiritual concept, is that, you treat everybody the same. It's like, why? It's like, we're different colors, we're different realizations. So it's to live in this life in consciousness. There's not a rule to it, there's a consciousness to it. We always, it makes it simpler, give me the rule of it. But it's like, let me live in consciousness and then I'll know what to do. I'll be in harmony.
moving. You know, I'll be love in motion.
Is there one truth?
There's like one vibration. People can call it one truth. There's one energy. And then, you know, it like filters into different ways and different forms. But there's basically, if you go back further, you know, it's like, I wrote the screenplay once, and it's about, well, it's called, it was at that time called The Next Lenny Bruce, and he was just ranting about something, about this young stand-up comic. And he was saying about the Israelis and the Arabs and stuff like that. They all look alike, they talk alike, you know, everything about them. They dress alike. So if they all got amnesia, they'd forget why they're fighting, who they hate. They wouldn't know, because they basically do the same things. I mean, it's just, we're so insane that we have all these dualities, and we have holy wars because you're loving Jesus in a way that's about this far from. So it's like if people really got amnesia, they'd forget who to hate. They wouldn't know. I mean, of course, there'd be somebody or some talk show that said, no, the Arabs hate the Jews hate this, the blacks hate the, you know, it's like, and then we'd get back on steam. And then what would happen, even if we all got amnesia, if we didn't experience the one love, if we didn't experience the truth, then we'd build it up again, because in separation, we'd have to form all these things, these cliques, to try to feel part of something. So we try to feel part of something on earth it's a little bigger than us. But the way it gives it power on earth, or it has in the past, is to have an opposition. The duality has to find an opposition. Then you're part of this sect. I mean, you know, the Buddhist sect, this one has this Dalai Lama, this one has this Karmapa.
Which is a form of separation.
It's definitely a form of separation. And at some point
we want to go... A form of attachment, which we...
Yeah, attachment, separation, but we need it to a certain point. They're like training wheels or crutches. At some point, it's like, throw them away. But enough is enough.
If we realize that that's what they are, then it's okay.
Well, it's only okay to a certain point. I mean, once your legs heal, to wear crutches is like, why? You know, are you walking in the freedom and in the love you can walk? No.
But if
you know, why would you be in a wheelchair if you can walk? I mean, you know, I'm not saying you can never sit in a wheelchair, or, you know, or play at the airport or nothing to sit there. But I mean, you know, I mean, why would you? You can walk. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like if you can fly, why would you, you know, put on...
And what if your mind tells you that you can't walk? See, that's the thing, the mind.
Well, mind is the tool of the illusion. I mean, that's how it feeds you. So it's like, that's why stopping the world, that's why meditation, which you started, can be a valuable tool. To bring all your thoughts into the moment. And, or
where there is no thought.
Where there is, well, there might be thought, but you're not attaching to it.
Right.
So, you know, the thoughts are happening.
Stream of thought.
And it has nothing to do with you the same way, or it has to do with you as much as, like, I mean, this show I'm wearing a tuxedo, and everybody say, well, he's wearing a tuxedo, he's not wearing a tuxedo shirt. Dad, I know it's not a tuxedo shirt. We're cool with that. You know, he whatever he's doing. You know, he doesn't have a cummerbund, he doesn't have a, you know, I mean, so is it properly tuxedoed? No. Somebody could say, no, he's a dope. You know, he's a dope in half a tuxedo, or whatever. So, but what does that mean? I mean, does that mean I can't be free? And if tomorrow or in an hour from now I'm in jeans, am I a different, if I'm a different vibration because I go from a tux, then there's something, how deep is that vibration? So the same way, if we identify with that which is shallow to us, then we're going to be affected by that which is shallow. But we want to be affected by the deepest root. So when we want to go, okay, so if you go behind, just go behind or deeper. You want to go into God. And God, what we call is God, but it's like the one energy, love. If you go into that, then there's no separation. I mean, the example I give sometimes is like the sides of a pyramid. And there are 4 sides. I mean, it could be a million sides. But, you know, just for this metaphor, as you go up the sides, you can be pretty high up, and you can have really extraordinary gifts, you know, high up on and you could see long distances for, you know, 180 degrees or something like that. But there's always somehow there's 3 oppositions, you know, even at that level. So, I mean, that's a lot of people in the spiritual path, but there's a certain amount of opposition. But only at the point is there one. There's never opposition at the point. So nothing is affecting you in that way because all is one. But it doesn't mean that you invite everyone to live in your home and you go to every dinner, or that, you know, you say yes to everything. I mean, you're not an idiotic robot. You're just conscious, and you know that that is the truth of it. But on this experiment here, not everybody recognizes that that is the truth of it. And so you're going to go through your life in that vibration. And if you have a hope or prayer in that way, you'd hope that more and more people come to it because you love them and you know that that's how they would feel love and beauty in their
Well,
life.
isn't that what we're doing now? Isn't that what's happening? Is that more and more people are becoming supposedly enlightened or receiving into the higher consciousness level?
Well, I mean, when you use the word enlightened already, you're kind of asking for trouble because then it's like, a lot of people have levels. They're at this level, that level. It's like, why
well, it
bother?
would be an absorption into the absolute, which is what I would say.
I mean, you just live in the moment. Keep it, keep it simple,
that-
stupid. Is the way I would look at it. The simpler we can keep it, the less chance we have of slipping into the duality, the less chance we have of slipping into concepts. The more we feed into the conceptual framework, the bigger chance we have of saying that we are that. We're an organic farmer, we're a talk show host, we're married, we're not married, we have, all the definitions of ourselves. And it's not that we aren't those things, it's just how much weight do we want to give it.
Let's talk about the Bridging Heaven and Earth Foundation. We have 3 minutes.
Wow.
We just formed the Bridging Heaven and Earth Foundation, which is a nonprofit 501c3, and we would like to tell everyone about it. And what is the goal in your mind for Bridging Heaven and Earth Foundation? Where do you see the Bridging Heaven and Earth Foundation in 5 years from now? As soon as we have stationery, that is.
Again, I just look at it, what possibly it could happen. I mean, as it evolves and at each step, it moves into a new...
What would be your dream for it?
I wouldn't have one, but I mean, a nice thing that could happen would be is that, this show is in more cities. Some cities don't have public access, so we could put it on cable access. Make sure all the shows are on the internet, so we'd have now 100 shows on. So that might cost a certain amount of money. Maybe do a big retreat center where we could be a central location for communications, for allowing spiritual books and things that go to the light, to use human words, the things that rub up against the infinite, can have a better chance and a more efficient chance of reaching vast numbers of people. So we, because we've done it and we know how to do media and television, could be a central location for that.
We find that many of the guests who come on the show are trying to reinvent the wheel, especially book publishers are always self-publishing, and they're all individually self-publishing their own books, and it would be nice to be able to facilitate everybody's needs with one center. Isn't that what we kind of dream about?
Yeah, I mean, the way it's set up now, it's really inefficient because everybody's learning how to do barcodes, everybody's learning how to do merchandising, everybody's learning how to publish or, go into the studio and make a CD, or everybody's learning how to do, and everybody all over the world is learning how to do this, and it's, if everybody could come to the Bridging Heaven Earth Foundation and for whatever reasonable fee, we could help them do that. I mean, it would be a beautiful experience.
We are taking donations, are we not?
Well, it's a 501c3, and if people felt like the way I would look at it, if they wanted to collaborate with us in that way and they had that, then that would be beautiful. And, I mean, it doesn't matter because it's the vibration of love. So, again, thanks, Shelley, thanks, Cory. I mean, I hope, this show meant a lot to you. I know it meant a lot to us here. And once again, I can't really tell you how much your love and your inspiration and your feedback allow us to feel the movement of that consciousness throughout the earth. And we just really appreciate it. Please don't stop. Good night. God bless you. Thank you.